Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are with UrbanDigs. And today, Johnny, we are talking Manhattan, and we got a good one. We got Ashley, Reidy Quinn. We got Nick Montalbano, big powerhouse brokers over at CB Warburg. They are part of the asset advisory team, and we got them to ourselves for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And we're going to go into the minds of both of you guys. You guys ready? Nick and Ashley, you ready?
Good morning.
All right. Well, first off, thanks for being here. And I'm going to start with you, Nick. We're going to go right into this. People are wondering, we're wondering ourselves, what is going on in the state of the New York City real estate market today?
Interesting. You should bring that up, considering we just had our sales meeting here at the office yesterday. And that was one of the questions. And my immediate response was that, in my opinion, it's a buyer's market. Unless you're priced correctly, you're not going to sell. If you're an unrealistic seller, it's going to be very difficult for you to move your product in this market because buyers are a little hesitant with the interest rates, and they're a little hesitant with uncertainty of some other things going on in the market, which is happening in a couple of weeks. We all know,
Right.
So the common theme that I see out there, and the common theme, the feed. Is I'm uncertain. I don't know what I want to purchase, when I want to purchase, but things that are priced right, is moving. And it also depends on the level of pricing, right? So under $1 million is moving. And then 1 to 3 is moving, but with some discounts, in there, if you're a little bit on the higher side, or even if you're priced correctly, people still want that discount. They're trying to make up the difference in the interest rates from 2.5 to 6. In their minds, they can't wrap their head around that yet. And also what we're seeing is the higher you go, the bigger the discount. So you start to get into 20, 30, 40, 50 million. It's like automatic 30% off, 40% off. It's like, what? So
Super luxury.
Yeah, super ultra luxury. Yeah. And then what we're also seeing is anything that requires a renovation. There's a lot of pullback on that because we work with a lot of contractors that we have, for projects. And since COVID, the supply chain of wood and marble and materials has gone up. And I actually got some numbers from multiple contractors, and the average is about 30 to 35% in materials and in their insurance has gone up since 2020. And that's a big number. You add that on to a $1 million renovation, you're now at 1.3. I mean, that's a big big jump. And a lot of that, people are trying to save wherever they can. So what happens is you have a renovated unit that needs work. They're trying to save money on it, so they want it off the price, and that's what you're seeing. And since people want 2-bed home office, maybe 3-bed, maybe 1-bed home office, because everybody wants that work from home thing. That's what's happening. They're trying to find that balance.
I have a quick question. You first off, really interesting answer, and thank you for being completely honest. State of the market, I see the exact same thing. Yeah. Everything that you just said, I see out there as well. And when you say buyer's market, let's just I'm going to steal Phil Horrigan's scale here. If 10 is a seller's market, strong seller's market, and 0 is a strong buyer's market, and 5 is right in the middle, where would you put us right now? I'm just trying to gauge how deep this is. Is it a 4 or 3 or?
I like 3.
Okay.
2 to 3.
Okay, gotcha. Moderate buyer's market.
I want to add to that. I'm a firm believer. We're a firm believer. I say this all the time. I said it yesterday in the sales meeting. In times of chaos are times of opportunity. I'm not saying we're in chaos, but we are in uncertain times, and we are in a time where fear is driving people's thoughts and people's actions. And when there's those times in history, that's when you can go in and strike and get what you're really looking for at a discount in any market, but especially the one we're talking about, real estate.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, fear and greed, right? These are the two opposing dynamics that really shape a lot of the markets. And actually, I'd like to pivot to you. And I want to focus on the greed side of things for a moment. And I want to talk about look, we're focusing on the buyers. We obviously understand they're trying to discount because they're trying to make up for, as Nick said, they're trying to make up for the interest rate dynamics that have happened over the last couple of years. They're trying to make up for increased renovation costs, and they're doing their part. What about the sellers? What about the sellers who are saying, listen, I bought this 10 years ago. I know I did the work with my bare hands. It's worth twice what you think. How are you getting through to that greed side? How do you get through to those aspirational sellers these days?
So I think there's a big part to an aspirational seller. It's important to tap into the psychology of an aspirational seller. I find that the aspirational seller usually have an emotional component to that sale. So for one, it's really important to tap into that. Then the numbers don't lie. Provide them with that data-driven reality check. I think it's really, really important. Where I get that information, the chart room, UrbanDigs.com. I use it all the time.
Thank you.
You didn't pay me to say that.
No, I didn't. I will. I feel like I got to slip a 20 out of
We'll pay you after.
I think it's really important. You know, the data in that chart room is very digestible. Clients love it. They like to see that. I think the added layer to that experience of trying to level set with the seller is just sharing the buyer behavior. Give them that update after every single showing. Let them know what that prospective buyer is, how they're interpreting the listing, how they're interpreting the sale price, the market, etc. And then furthermore, you have to tell your client, we're in this together. This is a team. We are both working towards this shared end goal. So if we're priced too high, we're not going to sell.
Ashley, are you seeing a lot of pushback with price amendment conversations with your sellers, or are sellers amenable to it? Or is it's just based on the situation?
It's situational. We find the most pushback with clients that have purchased in the last 10 years because unfortunately, the market's not doing so great. They're usually, if you purchase, you need to appreciate by at least 10% to break even here in New York City. And we're not seeing that 10% appreciation if you purchase in the last 10 years. So yeah, there's pushback. Yeah. You have to help your client understand and hold their hand that they're going to take a loss here, most likely. And that's hard to digest. Really,
it's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, because if you look outside of our market, like 10 years ago, 2015, at housing, I mean, housing's starting to roll over across the nation, and it's still probably up 100% from 10 years ago. But I want to go to the next question, Nick. This one's for you. You guys built an amazing referral business. I mean, congrats on what you guys have done. What is the most important thing to you in real estate as it pertains to the business of real estate and getting to where you're going with your referrals? Like what are you doing that's different or special that is contributing to this success?
I am going to give you the one-word answer: honesty. Okay? The more honest you are, and this just piggyback right off of the last question you just had, tell your seller, listen, you purchased here at the height of the market. Maybe, and I can tell you this, as a team, we were not your broker when you purchased that, because we'll show you our financial statements from how much money we made in the peak of the market. It was way less because we would rather take the haircut than you when you go to sell now. Like we see. So honesty has been a huge part for us, and that is coming around right now, where clients from years ago that we told don't buy, wait it out, are thanking us left and right because we gave them that advice. So honesty, integrity, our morals, and just how we handle our relationships with our clients. They are not just a transaction. They are people just like us. And we try to, like Ashley had said before, be on the same psychological level with them and have compassion and have understanding and empathy for what they're trying to do, but also put the realistic mindset of like, here's what's happening. And don't worry, we're on this journey with you. We have you. And if we owe you a penny on a $20 million deal, you will get that one penny. That's just how we operate. And we always operated like that. So clients are more than happy to refer us, to send us anyone they can. And the biggest compliment we always get is, my friend said, you guys were not only knowledgeable, but you were so honest and so real with them. And they appreciated that the most. And that's what we're looking for. And you know, our industry, it's not always like that, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. And we've been that way since the beginning. And that's why we gel And that's why our team gels. We all share the same morals and ethics. It's very important.
That's really interesting. And I'm glad to hear you say that. And it echoes a lot of the conversations that we have with top producers like yourself. Starts out with that. I mean, everyone has their own way of doing business, but there are certain things that are at the peak of everything. It's like that hierarchy of needs, except it's more like hierarchy of traits, and honesty and integrity are really the very top one, and things kind of flow from there. But I'll be honest, it's hard. It's hard sometimes, especially when you're starting out, because you're afraid. Sometimes you're afraid to be honest. You're afraid to tell sellers or buyers like what you really think and why they might be losing money or why they might be overpaying, because you want to get that deal. You want to build that business. So how was it starting out? I'm just going to throw this out there to the crowd. How was it starting out, trying to get that ball rolling and being honest at the same time?
It's really hard. It is a grind. This industry, this business is a grind. And I find, I remember first starting and being at the office so early, running around with clients 7 days a week. You get so physically and mentally tired, but you have to remember that all of this is for your clients, and it's for protecting their assets or helping them buy potentially their largest asset that they will ever invest in. And you have to stay true to your morals. You have to stay true to your ethics. It's also very easy to get quickly blinded in this industry by money. Like there's possibility to make a ton of money in this industry. And once you start making those larger commission checks, you have to remember how you got there. And it's also an industry where there are a lot of brokers. So you'd like to think and believe that brokers that aren't moral, that aren't ethic, they will get weeded out in this industry, but it's not always the case. And your reputation is paramount. New York City is actually a very, very, very small city. And while we do have a lot of brokers, I'd say everyone that is transacting at a certain level, they all know each other. And especially, I think two of the most valuable currencies in this industry is just your professionalism and your ethics. And if you don't have those, you're not going to make it very long, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're going to cash those chips in. You're going to cash those chips in along the way. And I mean, look, the referral business is the best business in this industry. I mean, that's the best. I mean, that's when you don't have to fight for every listing or fight for every lead. It's admirable. It's admirable because you know what? At the end of the day, if you don't have this and you're just trying to go after that deal and you're saying whatever you got to say, at the end of the day, the buyers or the sellers, they see right through that anyway. I mean, they know what's going on, and they're like, this guy's just trying to sell me something, and they probably won't refer.
To your point, Noah, even you're right. I mean, even if you're trying to be honest, you're trying to do it the right way. There's a certain time that it takes, right? And I think a lot of the stumbling block for newer brokers is they go out, they spend a bunch of money, they mail a building, and then they expect to see results in 3 months, 6 months, and nothing comes. They're like, all right, I'm done with that. It didn't work. And it's a longer game than that. I'm just curious. And so Ashley, I'll direct this question to you. Do you guys have an amazing team? Like, how do you build this team with that foundation? Also, trying to get that referral machine working. I'm just curious how that dynamic lines up.
So for quite a while, we were a team of 3. We had a third partner, incredible partner. He left the team to pursue a different path in real estate. And I think we quickly realized that we were missing that third dynamic. We were missing that manpower, for lack of a better word. And we saw that with a strong team, you can scale your business so much larger than when you're operating independently. There's a component to having 3 different perspectives, viewing this industry, approaching the client with 3 different perspectives. And we were learning so much from each other. We also have different skill sets. Our strengths and our few weaknesses are very different. So it's important to realize that.
I caught that one.
Yeah.
It's important
to steal
realize that and grow on that. That being said, Nick and I decided, we're like, you know what? We were ready to grow the team again. We were both independently and collectively ready to take it to the next level. So when you're growing your team, it's really important to scale your team very thoughtfully, hire intentionally, ensure that everyone on your team has a collective goal and a foundation rooted in the ethics. If you don't, it's not going to mesh well. We also wanted to ensure we needed strong systems in place. We needed to establish training, accountability, and we're learning as we go. We're constantly pivoting. I think what's been paramount for us, though, is also having a set group of advisors that we can go to and we can trust and that we can learn from. There's immense pressure when you're growing a team. You have people that rely on you. You have people that are looking to you every single day for advice, guidance. And likewise, we're looking to them for the same thing. So we don't take this responsibility lightly. We're proud to have a team.
A couple of things you said there that really resonate with me is that you're systematizing your business for scalability. And it sounds like it's unlocking you to grow, right? I mean, either you're running your business or you're growing your business, right? You can't kind of do both at the same time. So if you can get the processes and systems in place to run the business, and now you can go out there and grow it, different story. So a lot of great stuff right there, Ashley. Thank you. Nick, I'm going to come back to you. And we've reached the end. It's 15 minutes already. It goes really, really quick.
Really quick.
I know. I was like, it was nothing.
Add on another 15.
Keep going.
Seriously. We can talk to you guys for a long time.
B-roll.
Nick, I want to talk to you guys about strategic advice that you would give to, I don't want to say younger agents. I want to say any agents, younger or older, that are just looking to invest in their business and get to the next level. I know everyone has their own vision and goals for what their business will be in this industry, but let's imagine they have high, grand goals. What would you tell these people to expedite the level of production?
I'm going back to this question because honestly is the way that we are, honesty, and growing our team. We've sat down with each person honestly and said, what is your goal? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do in real estate? And I revert back to myself. And I'm going to share this with you guys. And I know I tell this to Ashley every day, I wake up and I want to be better than the day before. I want to better me from the day before. And every day I think to myself, how can I be a better agent? How can I be a better partner? How can I be more productive in my business, more productive with clients? What can I do? And there are just levels to this. And I think that getting to the next level is a partner was a great way for me personally to get to a next level. Growing a team is another way that we have gotten to another level. And I can only speak for myself, right? This is just how I feel. But I always want to be better, and I'm not better than anyone else. I don't know more than everyone else. And so I would say sharing with with agents wanting to go to the next level, speak to people that have been in the industry longer than you. Speak to people that have different skill sets than you. Don't always be the smartest person in the room, because if you are, then you're in the wrong room. I think you should always be open to learn. I'm going on 14 years in the industry, and I am constantly learning. I am always trying to be humble. I'm always trying to understand that there's changes and there's ways for me to always grow personally and business-wise. And I have to speak to myself honestly. And I swear I sit in the mirror and I'll talk to myself and I just try to really, I'm not so much. No. And I talk to myself, no, I think you really need to look at yourself and just say, what am I doing?
Understand it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have to, I'm trying.
A lot of people don't like to face their challenges or their inefficiencies or things that they've done incorrectly, because they just don't want to. They just rather run away from it.
Agreed.
So it sounds like you're identifying, discovering it, embracing it, and learning from it, and correcting it, and fixing it, and getting better at the end of the day.
Yeah, I want to add to that though. I think it's important to realize, especially in New York City real estate, that there's always another level.
Yeah,
always. You can always continue to grow. You can always continue to up your game. There's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy. And I think it's so easy in this business to get so caught up on achieving that next level. It's so important, especially as you're new in this industry, take a moment to pause and really appreciate and celebrate your success as you continue to up your game. I think you get so caught up in this industry, you forget to do that. At least I do.
I love it.
One more thing to add. Sure. The team members we've hired, we've sat down with them, but I've personally said to them about my personal beginning. I made $33,000 my first year in real estate. I want them to understand how difficult it is. I want them to see the grind. I want my second year, I made $44,000. You see where this is going, right? You have to find your way, you know, and I think showing them that honesty, look how vulnerable I am. I'm sharing this with you. This is the reality of what this business is. But I promise you, if you put in the work and you are ethical and you have high morals and standards and you are honest with yourself and your clients and your teammates and with each other, you will be successful. Point blank. And they're like, oh, but it's so hard. I'm starting. I was there. I know. I remember.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. You got to align with the right people as well. That's so critical to get that mentorship, and be open to that mentorship. A lot of people, the machine is set and they're set in their ways and they're not changing a thing. You know, that's just what their comfort level is. But I hear you. You got to learn. This is great. Thank you, guys. John, anything else for Nick and Ashley?
Well, I do have a quick bonus round, if you don't mind. And that's one of the things that I love about this industry, especially in this city, is that people come from diverse backgrounds. And so I'd love for you guys to talk about what you did before real estate and how that impacted your entry into it and your outlook now, if you don't mind. Ashley, let's start with you on this one.
Perfect. So I started in this industry when I was a senior at NYU. I was in college. I was studying pre-med, pivoted a little bit. I was working in fashion in my spare time. My parents were very stressed that I was not picking a path. And I said, you know, I've always loved real estate. And they're like, perfect, a third career path. And I said, if I go to the New York Real Estate Institute, take classes, get my license, can I get this 1 year? And I needed the financial, emotional support from my parents to do this when I was 21 years old, living in New York City, an expensive city. And they said, sure, you get 1 year, give it a go. And now 12 years later, we're still doing it. So
awesome.
It's just in my veins now. I can't quit it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, you take it out. Nick, what about you?
True polymath, yeah.
But I like to add to that, her first year, she did, what was it? Rookie of the
RevMe Deal of the Year.
Deal of the year.
Yeah, I read about that. That's incredible.
Yeah. So she was made for this. For me, just real quick, I just want to touch on this part. I started my life over at 30 years old. I got sober, and I started completely over from zero at 30. I mean, zero. And I was fixing the inside of my body, and I said, let me fix the outside. So I got into exercising and working out, and that led to me being a fitness trainer. And then I also was partners in a training facility in Manhattan. And that just went along with my entire mindset. So I already had discipline. I really had, you know, things like aligned in that way. But I wanted more. I just wanted more. And that part of the business failed for me with my partner and I and his wife. It's fine. And so I took a break, and our other partner started in this, and he said, hey, we're best friends. We could work together. So I went into real estate with him. And the same principles and the same way I would pick up training clients and how personal you get with them and how close you get with them transferred very, very easily into real estate and approaching people the same way and speaking to people the same way and getting as close as I did with those people the same way. So that was my path. That's
a great story. And I could see that resonating. Congratulations on your ongoing sobriety, Nick. And I could see the strength. I mean, you're a strong guy mentally and physically. And that probably is what allows you to go to your clients and say, hey, listen, this is how it is. All right, I'm not scared of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm the expert here. A lot of agents are scared to say that, to a client. You're not scared.
No.
This was great. This was great, guys. Thank you for taking time out to talk to everyone here and all the agents that watch this show. Nick Montalbano, Ashley Reidy Quinn, CB Warburg Asset Advisory Team. That is John Welcome. I am Noah Rosenblatt. This has been Talking Manhattan, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.